In our current work environments, there's a lot of cross-functional collaborations between business units, departments, different employees that requires us to work together collaboratively on teams. What is important for us to understand is whenever we're engaging a group of individuals, we want to make sure that we are laying foundational groundwork on how the team is going to communicate, what is the cadence of communication, and the preferred methods of communication for the parties involved. This way, we can all adjust and make the necessary modifications to our own personal communication styles and really address and engage well with our colleagues. Now, sometimes in previous experiences, I've worked with clients where there is a breakdown in team engagement and team communication, and it stems from a challenge in terms of communication. So, what I've seen is there are four primary types of communication styles, and that usually manifests by the way of people either being action oriented, people oriented, process oriented, or data oriented. Those four different areas can drive how people engage. And if there is a misalignment on how communication is going to be done on the team, this can cause a lot of hindrance for productivity, outcomes, successful engagements, and things like that. What I can say is, in my experience, I've learned that all four of those dynamics kind of reside in each individual. Just some are more dominant than others. So, what I encourage leaders and team members to do alike is to take time to get to know their communication style, be able to identify it. And once you've identified it, also learn about the other three styles and know how to adjust your narratives when engaging with people with varying communication styles. It's just about tweaking it so that you can build the working relationships, make the connections, and create a more cohesive team. Um, One is not superior to the other three. All four types are necessary for a successful team, and all four should bring the same value. So it's going to be important that you have someone who's very action oriented, because they're going to keep projects moving, they're going to keep us doing things and moving forward. You're also going to want to make sure that there's somebody on the team who is very people centric, because they're going to be very top of mind of how this impacts not only the team that's currently working or any other employees that may be affected by the product, the change, or any initiative that is happening. Once the process is started, you want to have somebody who was process driven, because they're going to be the ones to help formulate documentation, templates, policies. It is very necessary to make sure all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And then the data driven person is going to make sure that whatever we're doing makes sense. They're going to make sure that the research or the analytics are in place to support the decisions that are being made. So all four components are necessary for a successful team, but we want to make sure that we take the time to engage each other and really learn about the communication styles and preferences. When we set this up in the initial phase of any group or team dynamic, the outcome is going to be much more successful when we understand each other's preferred communication styles, how we best interpret and receive communication, and how to make the necessary adjustments when engaging with one another.